If you are desperately trying to find out what is blocking your manifestation, you are in the right place because I just might have the solution for you. This is for those of you who are trying to solve the limiting beliefs, the problems that have caused the manifestation to go that way, or maybe you have been working on limiting beliefs, but you can't seem to find the right one that makes your manifestation move. And no matter how many negative thoughts you flip, you don't see any movement in your manifestation. It doesn't seem to be moving. This video is for you. So if you are already aware of what your limiting beliefs are, they're obvious to you, you're working on them, this video might not be for you, but stick around anyway. I am sure you will get something out of this anyway. So I have several videos on limiting beliefs, how to find them, how to get rid of them. If a limiting belief comes up, or several limiting beliefs come up, it is important that you deal with them as they come up. You change the story, you repeat your new story, and then you go about your day. If it happens again, you do the same thing again. And you do it as many times as you need to get rid of the old story. Now, for those of you who are new to manifesting, when we talk about limiting beliefs, some people, again, call it blocks. I don't like that word, so I don't use it. But it's all about the beliefs and assumptions that you are holding that you no longer want to experience. The negative story about the situation, about yourself, etc. And they are manifesting as much as your affirmations, when they become assumptions, manifest. So everything in your mind is manifesting. Everything that is a program in your mind, the beliefs, what you believe to be true, in simple terms. So when you are trying to manifest something beautiful and you have assumptions about the situation that are not favorable, those are going to manifest, causing unwanted situations. So when you are aware of the so-called problem, the limiting belief, and it's obvious, it comes up either as a realization in your mind or as a 3D manifestation that's just too much in your face and you just know that this is the limiting belief. You deal with it. This video is not about it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it in this video. But manifestation is about balance. A lot of times you have heard me say that there's no one solution to every problem and there's no one thing that is going to work for everyone in every situation. You who are one person who is manifesting different things, you will notice that all your manifestations are different. They are a different experience because the degree of resistance you feel to it is different. The stories are different. Even the amount of desire you have about everything is different. So every manifestation is going to be a different experience. Therefore, you need to be flexible. One thing that you have used to manifest your SP might not work to manifest money. You might want to go about it in a different way. And therefore, it's about balance, and it's about finding out what will work for me in this situation. Sometimes, and this is what this video is actually going to be about, sometimes people get so caught up in trying to find out the limiting belief, the block, that is all they focus on. So it becomes this vicious cycle of I need to find a problem. I need to find the problem. What is blocking my manifestation? What is my story around this? What is my assumption? What is the limiting belief? What is it that I need to solve? So, and you do it, of course, because you want to manifest your desired end goal. But what you end up doing, and of course, you don't do this on purpose. You are trying to solve the problem, But what you end up doing is you get into this vicious cycle of finding a problem. And yes, maybe there is a problem. There definitely is, if you don't already have your manifestation. But if you continue doing this, desperately trying to find out what's blocking it, then that is what you are going to manifest. Even if there weren't a problem, you are going to manifest a problem that you will then solve. The problem with this is that you don't get to your manifestation. You end up fixing problems. This becomes about fixing this problem, fixing that problem, fixing that problem. And maybe all those problems that you find are there actually. And maybe it is your experience. And it is, like I said earlier, that obvious limiting belief that you need to get rid of. But if you find yourself doing only that, that's not a solution. You are not going to get to the solution because, again, you are going to get into this cycle of doing something in order to get your manifestation, but you stay here doing that thing. It's like when you are manifesting and doing everything correctly, etc., and then you get impatient and start looking for it. Where is it? Why is it not coming? Why is it not moving? You get into that cycle of doing that. Why is it not moving? Why is it not moving? And then all of a sudden you end up just manifesting that, not moving, because that's all you're affirming. I believe that people get into this cycle of trying to fix problems also because of impatience, because the manifestation is not there yet and we want to speed it up. So we go to this type of things like solving problems. Then there's a problem I need to solve. Maybe there is, but if you do that too much, that's not what you want to do. The solution to this is going to the end. I know that's not revolutionary. Maybe it is for some of you, if you're new to this. Or maybe even if you're not new to this, we can forget the essentials. Go to the end. Your end contains all the solutions that you need. When a client comes to me with something new that they want to manifest, that is where we start. Sometimes quite often actually, when a client is telling me their story, the current situation, a lot of times the limiting beliefs are so obvious that it's easy to pinpoint them. Then this is what you change, this is what you change, and this is what you change it to. But if you're on your own and you are trying to figure out the problem, don't figure out the problem just yet. Go to the end. Focus the end, what you actually want to manifest. Because what will end up happening is one of two things. Either it will just dissolve every limiting belief / problem, negative story, etc., so that you end up being in that situation of your end goal, or it will bring up the problems so that you can solve them. So your best bet to fixing the problem is to go to the end because it contains everything. Don't figure out the hows. That is unnecessary, and you won't, and even if you will, you might end up limiting your manifestation. So don't focus on how it's going to be solved or how it's going to happen, etc. Focus on the solved solution. Neville Goddard has this wonderful example of, for example, if someone is in jail, they're imprisoned, limited physically. The solution is to be free. The solution is to be free. The solution is not to fix the problem of how they got into prison in the first place. The solution is to be free. So that is what you imagine. You imagine being free. Your subconscious mind, being that infinite intelligence, or God, as it is called in the Bible, knows how to bring you from point A to point B. That's not yours to figure out. Your job is to stay in the end. Sometimes, and I have noticed it both with my clients and myself and my friends who are manifesting consciously, you start focusing on your desired end goal and all of a sudden problems start appearing. Sometimes it seems to be making it worse, but it's, for me as a manifestation coach, it looks like your subconscious mind bringing up the limiting belief that you were looking for to you to tell you, hey, do you want this beautiful, wonderful, loving, caring, committed relationship? Can you please get rid of this belief that you have that this person doesn't love you? And that might come up as a manifestation, you know? It might come up as a physical manifestation or a something you remember or a realization. But again, the solution is going to the end. And this simplifies your manifestation routine, work, for the lack of a better word, so much. You don't need to figure out new things to do. And manifestation doesn't need to become a full-time job for you, an extra chore that you do. Go to the end. That is your solution. Now, again, if you have a limiting belief that is so obvious for you, it's right in front of you, you feel it and it feels not so good, change it. I am not saying don't work with limiting beliefs. Do when they come up, but don't go searching for them on purpose. If you do that, you have, you're going in a different direction, and that's not the right direction for your desired outcome. Your desired outcome is the situation that is already solved. Like you are, don't imagine this, but like someone, if they were in prison, the best way to manifest freedom for them would be to imagine them already being free. Not figuring out the problems, not... If, again, a belief pops up all the time that no, you can't, this is not possible, your SP doesn't love you, you're really bad with men, women, you're not lovable, you don't have money enough to do this, or this is not the country where we make a lot of money, or again, the economy is bad. I keep saying that, but maybe I should stop saying that the economy is not bad, and I don't believe that, because that's not what it depends on. That's not what your money depends on. Not the economy, not the government, not anything. So your circumstances depend on what you keep imagining. So keep imagining the end. If you can't seem to figure out the problem, go to the end. It knows. It knows how to get you there. So my intention with this video was to not only encourage you, but to also simplify manifestation for you. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because my channel is all about that, to show you that manifestation can be actually simple and practical, and I'm giving you a lot of practical tips. So I hope you will stay tuned for a lot of videos and contents like this, and see you in the next video.